WWE 2K19 was released in October 2018 and would act as the sixth game under the WWE and 2K banner. The game itself received, favorable reviews from fans and critics. They had praise towards the showcase mode as well as the My Career mode. However, there were some criticisms directed towards long-standing issues within the gameplay that were yet again failed to be addressed. In the summer of 2018, AJ Styles was revealed as the solo star for the game, and this marked the first time in his career that he was featured on a WWE video game cover in any capacity. To market the game, WWE would use cover star AJ for a 2K19 $1 million challenge. In the challenge, players must beat the $1 million tower in the newly added Towers mode. Finally, 4 selected players would compete in a tournament to determine who would face AJ for the $1 million prize. AJ would then be defeated by Steven Benson in the finals of the tournament, and as a result, he was awarded $1 million over the WrestleMania 35 weekend.
Unmatched, unbeaten. They couldn't see me. I took them to Suplex City. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can stop me.
Whilst many players may know 2K19 and have played it a lot and have discovered a number of secrets, here's 10 that you might not know. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we upload a video. Number 10. Breaking the Fourth Wall. Most WWE 2K players know who Baron Blade is. He's a character that appeared in a number of NPC roles throughout the years on My Career mode. Interestingly, 2K19 features a clever reference that directly references Blade's prior appearances in the 2K universe. In the game, there's a particular cutscene where Matt Hardy will acknowledge Blade's many tortured existences. This acts as Hardy acknowledging how Blade keeps appearing in 2K video game releases in a number of different roles. Boy, has he changed.
He is the soul most tortured who has lived many conflicted existences.
Wakey, wakey. I said I don't want to be here. Make it stop.
Number 9. Amazing attention to detail. One of the biggest compliments 2K19 received was the attention to detail in certain elements of the gameplay. For instance, when executing the green mist, the opponent will solely impact the mist by maintaining the mist on their face for an extended period. Another element of the game was the addition of bruising. Notably, when players would repeatedly punch or kick the face of an opponent, a bruise would eventually form on their face. This was a significant and realistic detail, and one which future WWE video game releases should look towards for inspiration. Number 8. Superstar removals and controversy. Now, although 2K19 had one of the biggest rosters ever, there were certain names missing, and most of the missing names had interesting reasons why they were absent from the game. WWE legend and Hall of Famer Mick Foley didn't appear in the game as he wouldn't agree to sign a contract for WWE and 2K to use his likeness for the game. Foley had been vocal about the low pay that's involved in featuring in a WWE video game, and in the year leading up to the release, he obviously decided that he didn't want to feature in it. Another superstar who WWE fans expected to see in some capacity was AJ Lee. AJ Lee was a huge part of Daniel Bryan's heel character in 2012, and when a showcase mode was announced which would focus on Bryan, fans expected AJ to appear. However, that wasn't the case. Tommaso Ciampa being left off the game also left players very disappointed, as Ciampa was a top heel of the NXT brand at the time of the game's release, and players believed that he should have been in the game. Ciampa stated that he didn't want to be in the game due to him being a heel, but in reality, it was down to contract issues, a common issue with other NXT talents over the years. Enzo and Cass were the two main ones, and these two were released in 2018 and haven't appeared in a WWE video game ever since. The other two superstars were Finlay and Wade Barrett. It's unknown what these two roles were supposed to have in the game, however fans believe Barrett's inclusion may have been tied to Bryan's showcase mode, as Bryan made a main roster debut as a member of Barrett's Nexus stable. Number 7. WWE used 2K19 crowd noise for a SmackDown segment in January of 2019. As custom for WWE tape shows, fake crowd noise was used, and in one particular segment, fans noticed that the crowd noise was in fact pulled from 2K19. Number 6. Rooker T. One of the more humorous production errors in 2K19 related to WWE Hall of Famer Booker T and his in-ring attire. On his boots, instead of saying Booker T on them, it would say Rooker T. Now this was clearly a mistake and, a harmless one at that. It's unclear if this was ever patched up with an update, but there were reports in summer of 2019 that the Booker boot still said Rooker T. Number 5. You could play as a manager. When 2K19 was released, players quickly found a clever loophole which allowed them to play as a manager in the game. To do this, players had to go into the creation modes, select a WWE superstar, then select the manager they wanted to play as. In the menu screen, players then needed to set the Use as Alternative Attire option to No. Following that, players were able to select the manager from custom superstars to play within the game itself. Number 4. You could play a dumpster match. Now, credit to 101 Gaming who came up with this secret. Interestingly, players were able in 2K19 to place arena props such as a dumpster at the ringside area. This effectively gave players the power to create their very own dumpster match, a match concept never before seen in a WWE video game release. It has actually been seen in an ECW game though. As following inserting a dumpster at ringside, players simply had to set the match options so you could win via an over-the-top elimination. By doing this, throwing an opponent into the dumpster at ringside would award the player the victory. Number 3. Big Head Mode returns. A Big Head Mode was a mode that was first introduced all the way back in 1999 in WWF Attitude. In essence, it featured superstars with oversized heads, and it was clearly just a fun feature. For 2K19, WWE and 2K decided to bring back this feature. It could be unlocked by going into the Towers mode, as players have to choose Andre's Ascent Tower, defeat 14 superstars in matches, and then finally defeat the legendary Andre the Giant inside a steel cage. Once this was unlocked, players had to simply turn Big Head Mode on in the match settings, and superstars would then proceed to appear and wrestle with oversized heads. Number 2. Unmasking Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has never wrestled unmasked in WWE. However, in 2K19, players actually had the ability to play as an unmasked version of the WWE legend. If players searched Mysterio in the community creations, players would see an unmasked version of Mysterio available to download and play as. Mysterio's face does actually match his real face, and this is because his face was scanned for the WWE video game release, meaning his appearance is accurate as it can possibly be. And number 1. New Superstar Editions. 2K19 featured a number of notable WWE superstars making their video game debuts. With a total of 45 new superstars being added into the game, the most notable of these was Ronda Rousey. Ronda made her first official WWE in-ring debut at WrestleMania 34 and would act as a pre-order bonus for the game. One of the most popular additions was NXT's Undisputed Era. Other names added included Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Mustafa Ali, Pete Dunne, and Kairi Sane. And in relation to DLCs, the most notable name included in the DLC was Bobby Lashley, who'd made his return to WWE in 2018 after over a decade away. This marked Lashley's first WWE video game appearance since SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. But there you have it folks, 10 facts, secrets, and hidden Easter eggs you might not have known of 2K19. Are there any more? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.